Hey guys, hey, hi. It's just me all alone again because Tim's out picking blackberries. I was going to go with him, but the day has been one of those days where I've been called out to here, called out to there, was up in the garden, and I'm kind of running out of time for the day. So I'm going to make something very special today, and he's going to go pick our blackberries for us today. I'm very, very, very excited. So today is, remember my beautiful friend Audrey Bryce and how she had shared her raspberry squares with us and how I used to eat them every morning in the car, driving, yay. The other thing that she always made, and I didn't usually get these. Oh, she usually almost always just shared the wonderful, wonderful raspberry squares because that was my favorite. But I've got her breakfast square bars. She has graciously allowed us to have this recipe and has given permission for us to cook it live. So I'm very excited about this because number one, I've never cooked this either. This is one of those things that's totally hidden, was one of her specialties. This is the one that really has a lot of good stuff in you that keeps your system going well. So if you want to put this, in your repertoire of having in the morning to keep yourself going well, this is one of those bars that can do it because of the oatmeal in it and because she's really good about putting like cran raisins or dried fruit or anything in there that keeps you going. So I don't have any dried fruit with me today, so I'm going to use like chocolate chips and stuff. So when we get there, I'll show you what I've got and what the different options are. This is a very quick and easy recipe. Again, I haven't made it before, but I'm looked at the recipe and I see that there's nothing super complicated and it's pretty quick. It's just a matter of putting the ingredients together in a bowl and sticking them in a baking pan. And she didn't say whether we were supposed to grease the pan or not, but I'm looking at the ingredients and I don't want it to stick. So just in case, I did grease mine with butter, but you can certainly spray it down or anything. I haven't cooked it before and I don't want to take a chance of doing all this work and then have it stick to the pan. So I just thought to err on the side of caution and to go ahead and put some butter on it. So here we go. I'm going to put my camera down towards that direction. Here's my bowl. Over here, yep. The first ingredient in here is 1 stick of butter that's melted, which I already took care of. Then to that we add 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar, and then 1 cup of flour. Again, it really goes quickly. So 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and I know I say this all the time, but I'm going to just keep reminding you. I keep my 1/2 teaspoon. I keep my baking soda in a container like this because you don't want it to pick up any flavors or smells from wherever you're storing your baking soda. So I just always do that. That's my thing. I've got a cup of rolled oats. I'm going to use the quick kind. I'm sure that if you want to make it a little more binding and a little more intense, you can always use the kind that takes longer to cook, not the quick kind, but the full. But I'm going to use the quick kind because that's what she has on here. And then a pinch of salt. So, pinch. And then, which I had out earlier, I got to go grab. She says that this is dry, so I'm supposed to. She doesn't have an amount on here. She just said to add enough orange juice because it's dry, so to add orange juice to moisten it. So I'm just kind of getting a sense here of how dry or if it's dry or not. So just kind of feeling it around a little bit. And yes, I can see that it is dry. So yes, I'm going to kind of free pour a little bit because I don't have any measurement for this. I'm just going to do, and what a wonderful flavor to add to this orange juice. What a cool flavor, huh? I'm assuming that the idea is that you want it to pack. So I'm going to add a little more. You can see I still have some dry stuff in the bottom. I don't want to do too much. Oh yes, now I can see. See what I mean? See the difference? How you don't have that dry stuff on the bottom anymore. And I keep moving it in. It's kind of like that pastry for your pies, right? You want to make sure that there's no more dry stuff on the bottom. Well, that's what I feel like this is. And this is where the fun begins. Not that this wasn't fun enough. And this, again, this is a really good quick recipe, so you can do this. You could even put this together before you take your shower. Throw it, you could, like I say, throw this together before you take your shower in the morning, and you can have it fresh to cut and take to work with you, or to, yeah, to cut and take to work for you, actually. I would do what Mrs. Bryce did, what Audrey did, and I would normally have it made up ahead of time and cut it into squares so you could just take it and go. But this is definitely one of her absolute favorites. Okay, here we go. Ready? Now, the next thing is I'm going to put in here, this is where the fun begins. She said that you can use crayon raisins or any kind of dried fruit that you have on hand. Now, what I'm thinking, I'm wondering, she said dried fruit, or whatever's in your pantry. And of course, you know, you can get dried pineapple, dried oranges, dried whatever. I'm wondering, and I'm going to experiment with it another day, so I kind of charge you to experiment a little. Once you've done this verbatim the way it is, do what I do. Experiment with it. Could you put raspberries in there? Could you put blueberries in there? I think raspberries might mush up. Blueberries, though, stand pretty solid. I think a handful of blueberries in here probably wouldn't hurt. But what I'm going to put in here, and she says one of the things that she definitely puts in here is different kinds of nuts. And today I'm going to use walnuts, but you know me. I love to have my pecans on hand. I love to have my almond slivers. I love to have any nut that's on hand. Even pine nuts. Pine nuts are very good for you. They're sweet. And that would even be a fun thing. But today I've already cut up, you know, by using my little thing, some walnuts. But the other thing that she said you could put in here, because I don't have any dried fruit, remember, is chocolate chips. So, there we go. I'm going to be putting chocolate chips in this in a second. But she suggests that you can not just do chocolate chips, you could do butterscotch chocolate chips. You could do Reese's peanut butter chocolate chips. This one's really cool, and I was considering doing this one. This is a triple kind of chocolate chip. It's got some dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and some white in it. So next time I'm probably going to do this, but for today I'm just going to go straight chocolate chips because this is my first time making it, and you know I kind of go verbatim and don't go off the deep end with anything until I try a recipe. So here we go. I'm going to, here we go, toss in my nuts that I've already got pre-cut. And it's not really like there's even a measurement, so I just kind of threw a handful in there. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm just going to throw in a handful. And I'm going to see when it looks kind of right to me, because I'll be stirring it and see what looks right. This does not have, oh, there's one that didn't get cut up, so let's break it up with our hand here. Yeah. See if there's any other that were big. That chopper doesn't always chop evenly. Like, here's another big piece. When it comes to nuts, for some reason, it's a big help to have it, so I don't have to sit here and cut every one of them, but it doesn't always cut them all evenly. Yeah, I'm looking here and I'm thinking a little bit more chocolate chips would work. Again, this is just kind of a sight thing. She didn't have any ingredients on this. And, oh, doesn't that look like fun? Already it looks fun. Can't wait to have this for breakfast tomorrow morning. This is so awesome. And I think it looks like we've got a pretty good even disbursement of whatever. So you could saw, listen to me. You can see that I put about a handful or so in. I'm going to toss just a tiny bit more. And there you go. Stuff is going outside the bowl off of my, there. I tossed a little bit more because, I mean, let's face it, I am a chocoholic, right? Okay, so now I'm just going to press it into this pan, which is supposed to be 9 inches, but I fear that it's a little bit more than 9 inches, but I can't find my 9-inch pan. Actually, I should have just probably done the round one, but anyways, close enough. It'll just mean that they're not so tall that it's more. There we go, and I'm just going to press it. Press it down into here till it goes to all the edges of the pan. Actually, this looks like it might be a 9-inch. This looks really cool, guys. This is really, really neat. This totally, especially with the chocolate pieces in it and the nuts, totally replaces any commercial granola bar you can find that has all kinds of preservatives in it and stuff that you don't need in your body. You don't need any preservatives. You don't need any dyes in your body. You just want to just put these great ingredients that you know are real, that your controlling yourself, which are good for your body. So here's another way. The raspberry squares were one way. And remember, don't forget those raspberry squares, you can put any jam on that. They can be blackberry squares. They can be strawberry rhubarb squares. I mean, that's the wonderful thing about that raspberry square recipe. It doesn't have to be, since it's done with jam, it doesn't have to be just raspberry. So here we go. That's it. I'm going to put it in a 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes. And that's it. It's so exciting. So you can control all the fun stuff you can put in here for whatever dried fruits, whatever kind of nuts, whatever kind of chocolate chips, whatever. You're kind of building a much better for you granola bar. And then with that, the phone's ringing, so I got to go grab it. Have fun with this. Thanks. Bye.